So I just went back and forth with a camp here in Atlanta, and it's clear we're not dealing with the same God. If it wasn't clear before, and it was clear before, but it's really clear now. I guess because the Most High has increased my wisdom and knowledge, right? To where like now, like I already knew this, but it's crystal clear now. They don't work for us. It's crystal clear. And we was predominantly talking about Jacob's trouble. And I'm like, hey, we're out of Jacob's trouble. Have we not been through trouble for the past 1,000 years? And their energy, the way how they were communicating, it was like, no, we're gonna go through Jacob's trouble. This is gonna happen to us. This is gonna happen to us. This is gonna happen to us. And their energy was kind of like they want it to happen, kind of like they HATE us, like Esau. So their energy was like one of the Gentile nations and the Edomites. Like, I'm like, dude, we've been through Jacob's trouble. They would just like, it was like the weirdest thing, because they were just like firm on us going through Jacob's trouble. Like, that was gonna happen. Trouble. I'm like, if that's what y'all want to believe, you know what I mean? But I mean, for the remnant within the remnant, the 1%, like, it's over. I told them, I'm like, what it seems as if like you guys are out here just trying to use tactics of the devil and the Gentile nations, YTPPL. Right? It's all energy harvesting. It's keeping you in fear, keeping you in angst, keeping you anxiety, keeping you in this whole notion that you gotta prepare and you gotta do this because Jacob's trouble is gonna happen and this is going to happen. Right? So it's just all so they can steal your energy, Bubs. You know what I mean? So it's crystal clear. And don't get me wrong, it was clear to me before. It was very clear to me before that these people, these brothers on the corner, is set up by the GOV in the synagogue of Satan, the FAKE-ish, to be a stumbling block to the awakening. And when I was done communicating with them, the sister, I guess she was in the cut, you know, she had her, you know, sister, she had Jesus all over her car, called for prayer all over her car and stuff like that. And she was like, yeah, I guess she thought I was a Christian, right? I thought she was I guess she thought I was a black Christian, like confronting the Israelites on the corner. And I said, hold on, sister, no, let me stop you. I'm like, no, they're absolutely right about us being a people. Make no mistake about that, right? But the devil will give you half truths as well. And they were set up by our enemies to be a stumbling block to the awakening. So you shy away from learning who you really are. So I had to affirm that to her, right? Because it's so, I just praise the Most High because it's so clear. It's like when the Most High gives you the eyes to see and the ears to hear, and it's like it's clear as day for you. But you see, like, you're able to have a vantage point and see that, one, it's not clear as day to everybody. And then you see how some people got some aspects of it, but they don't got the whole story, right? It's like the Israelites on the corner. They got the part that we're the Israelites, but they don't got the whole story. The Christians, they got the Jesus part, and right, but they don't got the whole story. And then you're looking like, damn, the Most High really gave me the wisdom to be able to put piece everything together and filter through all of the LIEs. And I praise him for that. Black Americans are the real children of Israel, the real Jews, the real indigenous Americans from the same tribe as Jesus Christ, or Yahushua, or Yahusha, or Yeshaya, or Yeshua, the same Black American man. All praise to the Most High.
Alright, so I'm going to stop it right there. Before I get into it, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, whoever you might be. Shalom to 144,000. It's the brother Amawan Padah from the GMS Denver camp doing a land back or a response to this video that was posted up by the elder Manat Zakba out of the GMS South Carolina camp. Yahweh Shai Shai Barakatah. All right, to the elder. And go and subscribe to his page right there, GMS South Carolina 08. Okay, but I want to, put in my 2 cents on this particular video that he posted. And first, I want to just go ahead and state the obvious, man. The zest is very strong with this guy right here. All right, and let's get a quick precept, man. He said a whole lot, and we're gonna address all of it. So the first thing I'm going to address is this right here. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, otherwise known as Sirach, in the Apocrypha, chapter 19 and verse 29. A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance when thou meetest him. A man's attire and excessive laughter and gait show what he is. So you can tell, this dude, his spirit is a little, off. All right. His countenance, man, pretty much, testifies, against him. He's kind of effeminate, you know what I'm saying? And the Lord ain't dealing with no effeminate, weak men. All right, trying to escape prophecy, because that's what he's doing. He's trying to blame the camps, all right, for talking about, Jacob's trouble. All right, he's upset because we're warning the Israelites about Jacob's trouble. And that's the characteristic of a weak, effeminate individual. All right. The Lord says, show yourselves men. All right, we're going to face this thing head on, man, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. There's no escaping Jacob's trouble, man. I've seen other videos in times past where guys would talk about, oh, you're manifesting Jacob's trouble. You're manifesting negativity on yourselves by preaching about this. This is biblical prophecy, man. All right. You can't just put your head in the sand and act like it's not going to happen. You're part of the problem, man, because you're not warning the people and preparing them. Matter of fact, let's get some precepts on that. But I just wanted to address the fact that dude was extremely zesty. And the Lord gonna do away with y'all, man. Okay, so here we have the book of Isaiah, chapter 34 and verse 16. And it says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate, for my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. All right. The point is that the book of the Lord, which is the Bible, the scriptures, all right, which is made for you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians out there, and you Israelite foreigners. All right. It was made for you to read, man, and to understand the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And when it says no one of these shall fail, that's talking about the prophecies that are written. None of them are going to fail. Everything that's written, in the scriptures that's going to happen is going to happen. And we can clearly see that Jacob's trouble, which is a prophecy, end time prophecy, is unfolding. You can't just, close your eyes and wish it away. No, man. This is something that we must go through to enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right. So run away from dudes like that, man. If you got people telling you that, all you got to do is just, think positively and it'll go away. No, man. We're coming to the worst time this earth has ever seen, and we're preparing our people spiritually. The true prophets are doing that, man. We're telling you to turn into Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai so that you can be protected in the time of Jacob's trouble. We're not telling you that it's not coming so you can feel better. A lot of you weak Christians out there, man, you have that mentality of, you're not going to have to go through anything, man. And the elder, not the elder, but the brother, Amawan Abad, he did a lesson on this too. So the spirit is speaking right now, man. All right. We're on the brink of all hell breaking loose, man. You got guys like this talking about it's not going to happen. We already went through Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is an end time prophecy, man. This is said to happen before the Lord Yahweh Shai returns. The persecution. All right. The government coming up against the believers of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That hasn't happened. Esau has to be taken down, and we know that he's not going to go down without a fight. Hence Jacob's trouble. All right, let's get some precepts, man. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 5, it says, "For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace." Do you understand that, man? Those who had their eyes open and their ears open to prophecy, those who the Lord has truly awakened, who the Holy Spirit is dealing with, they can understand that we're in this time right here, man. All right? A time of civil unrest, plagues, pestilences. All right? Chaos, man. This place known as America, Babylon the Great is falling, man. And pretty much the society, which is ran by Esau, Edom, is coming to an end, man. All right? You see? And not just in America, but also all over the world, you're going to have different hardships, man, taking place. And we're going to have to go through that fire, man, to enter into the kingdom. All right? And you got people out here telling you there ain't nothing coming. Just, don't listen to those prophets. Don't listen to those camps that are always talking about negative things. That's the mindset. That's that weak mindset that they're coming with because they don't want to face the facts, man. They don't want to face the truth. All right, a real man is going to, accept reality for what it is and deal with it accordingly the best way he can. All right. And that's what we're doing. As the men of the Lord, we're telling you that this is coming. This is the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, as it is written, not of our own opinions. Okay. And this is what you must do. All right. To make it through, man. Turn to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, call on the true names. And he also mentioned, a bunch of different false names. He said Yehoshua and Jesus Christ and all that. Nah, man. This dude ain't got the answers, man. That guy ain't got the answers, man. I would not listen to anybody like that. All right. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe, as it tells you in Proverbs 18 and 10. Okay. We're not telling you the storm is not coming. We're telling you what to do to prepare when it comes, before it comes. All right. The voice of the Lord, man, is speaking through the prophets, and it's talking about Jacob's trouble, man. Fear, not peace. Okay. Verse 6, it says, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness." This is talking about the time that we're getting ready to head into, man. The worst time this earth has ever seen, where men are going to be afraid like women. They're going to be holding their stomachs like they giving birth. Grown men, tough guys. Showing you that, hey, man, we're going to need Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And now is the time to cleave unto him instead of trying to ignore prophecy because it makes you uncomfortable. We're all going to be fucking uncomfortable, man. All right? But we're bracing for the impact. Verse 7, it says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." All right, there you go, man. A time like none other. But the elect of Jacob, all right, the Israelites, the elect of the nation of Israel, they're going to be saved out of the coming, calamities. All right, that the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to bring upon the earth. The rest of y'all that's trying to ignore it, you're going to get caught up. All right, this time is for you, rebellious Israelites, man, that don't want to hear the truth. You want to put your fingers in your ears and act like it's not going on, man. You want to try to condemn the prophets who are giving you the true message, man. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to have all these weak ass Israelites trying to blame the true men of the Lord, for bringing the truth out, because they don't want to hear it. It makes them feel uncomfortable. They're going to try to blame us for everything. We see it coming. They did the same thing to Yahushua and his disciples. All right. So it is what it is, man. But this is going to happen. Okay. It's going to be soon. It's going to happen soon, man. But the elect have hope. You other guys out there who don't want to hear the sound doctrine, unless you repent, man, you ain't got no hope, man. It's going to catch you off guard. Esau going to blitz your ass, man. Jacob's trouble is going to smack you because you weren't preparing. All right, here we have it right here. The book of Acts, chapter 14 and verse 22. Heavy hitter. All right. Now, what does it say right here? It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High. You can drop the mic right there, man. We're not going to get into the kingdom of heaven, all right, which is going to be on the earth. We're not going to enter into that without going through difficult, trying times. The Lord is going to try the faith of the Israelites, man. And the elect are going to be the only ones that make it through. Lord willing, we're of that number. All right. And that's the mindset of those who are sincere. All right. We believe the report. And guess what? We preparing ourselves spiritually, seeking the Lord daily, praying for more strength, praying, that the Lord has his hand on us and protects us through the times we're coming into. All right. So, yeah, man, I mean, come on, plain as day. But they want to say that we're being negative and we're just draining their energy, their positive energy by preaching the word. Man, let's get another precept, man. In Jeremiah. Hold on a second. All right. Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8. What does it say? It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. All right. That's what the true prophets will be doing in these last days. Warning the Lord's people, sounding the alarm, letting them know what's getting ready to take place, preparing them, man. All right. Giving our people the understanding of what Yahweh Shema Shah requires of us so that they can escape the judgment, man. This kingdom is going down and they get mad because we say that. They get mad because we say America's going to be destroyed in thermonuclear fire in the midst of World War III. They're mad because we're chanting this wicked ass evil satanic kingdom down, which upholds nothing but wickedness, and lifestyles like that guy that you see there in that video, man. He seems to be like, one of those happy people, man. I'm gonna leave it there. I don't know him personally, but like I said, the countenance, man, you can tell a man by his countenance, man, by his look. Right? He's definitely weak and effeminate by what he was saying. Okay. A man may be known by his fruits, man. He's definitely fruity looking. But anyway, I'm gonna get off that dude, man. The point is that the prophets are going to be telling the truth about the end of the age. All right. The end of Esau's rulership. Okay. The different scourges that are coming to the land that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is bringing. All right. Because that's the truth. And people hate the truth, man. They try to run from the truth. They don't want to face it head on. All right, here we have the book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 16. It says, am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? All right. And when you tell a lot of these Christians, man, about the truth of the Bible and current events and things that are getting ready to unfold according to prophecy, they get upset, man, because they're comfortable here. They want to continue on living their lives here in America, Babylon the Great. They love this society. At the end of the day, they don't want the Lord's will to come to pass. All right. They want to be on easy street. So when we tell them that men, women, and children, elderly and young, are getting ready to die here soon, all right, in famines and different situations, they get upset. They say we're being negative. We're the prophets of doom. Hey, we just reading the scriptures, man. All right. We're not making up our own words. We're not making these things up. You're seeing society collapse right in front of you. You're seeing this place circle the drain. All right. So it's time to wake up and smell the coffee, man. Time to wake up and smell prophecy. All right, here we have the book of Ezekiel, chapter 13 and verse 1. And the word of the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, and say thou unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, Hear ye the word of the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. And you got false prophets out there, man, preaching that feel-good doctrine, only telling you things that make you feel good. They're not giving you the harsh truths to prepare you. They're not instilling a fear of the Lord in you. They're not telling you about the sore judgments that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai brings upon those who oppose him. You see what I'm saying? The Lord is nothing to be played with. And we read the word and we preach it as it is written, man. We don't put our own spin on it to make people feel good. All right? Prophesying out of their own hearts, out of their own minds. We're saying, hear ye the word of the Lord Yahweh, as it is written. That's what we're doing. Okay? And a lot of people, they can't accept that, because the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is not dealing with them. And that dude in that video, he thought he was just so wise in his own conceit. He was saying the Christian church ain't got the full truth, but the camps don't either. The Lord is dealing with me, and now I can see everything. That's how he was coming. Like he just got it figured out. But in all actuality, he's deceived. All right? He's deceived in his own mind. And a lot of you Israelites think that you can just figure it out yourself, that the Lord is dealing with you, directly, and everybody else is wrong, and you just got the correct insight over everybody else. Going off, man. Thus saith the Lord power, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. People out there following their own spirit, leaning unto their own understanding. And the Lord tells you not to do that. Let's get that real quick. All right, here's one of my favorites right here. The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. All right, I want to get this in the GNT, man. I mean, it's plain and straightforward, but I'm curious to see what it says in the Good News Translation. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to trust in the Lord, man. We're not going to try to act like Jacob's trouble ain't happening. We're going to trust in the Lord with all our heart, knowing that he is, that his son is the one who makes intercession for us, man. The son being Yahweh Shai. All right, that's who we praying to. And we know that he can deliver us out of anything, man, out of any situation. The Lord can deliver us. Okay? So, you trying to tuck tail and imagine this thing away is wrong. That's the wrong answer, man. All right? Trying to make up your own spin on prophecy to make yourself feel better. That's not going to work, man. Let's get this in the GNT real quick. All right, here we have this Proverbs 3 and 5 in the Good News Translation. And it says, trust in the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, with all your heart. It means all your mind. Never rely on what you think you know. You see that? There it is, man. Never rely on what you think you know. All right? Leaning into your own understanding. All right? Thinking that you got it figured out. And now you're not, adhering to the words that are written. That's where you're going off, and it's going to lead to your demise. You must believe on the scripture as it is written. All right? Talking about we ain't finna go through nothing, man. Are you serious? You don't see these goddamn devils gearing up to come after you, Israelites? You don't see what's going on around you? World War III getting ready to pop off? World War III. Think about that, man. That doesn't qualify as a time of great trouble? Man, people are delusional, man. Delusional. But they're mad at us because we telling them the truth. Talking about we being negative, man. So back in Ezekiel chapter 13, left off at verse 3. Okay. It says, verse 4, O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. And a lot of you people out here, a lot of you quote unquote leaders of Israel are false prophets, and you're like foxes, man. All right, coming with cunningly devised fables and misleading the flock for your own personal gain and, admiration or whatever, instead of giving them the 100% truth to prepare them. All right. See what I'm saying? You're like foxes in the desert, man, sneaky and sly. But the Lord sees you and you're going to get dealt with. All right. Matter of fact, I got to get this one right here, man. I got to get 1 Peter 4 and 17 real quick. All right. 1 Peter 4 and verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. All right. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? All right. Their end is going to be destruction. The Lord is judging his people in the earth, starting with you false prophets and those of you that ain't right in the spirit. Just because you know that you're Israelites doesn't mean that you saved already. You see what I'm saying? A lot of y'all about to receive judgment, man. There's a lot of false prophets out here in these last days with, huge congregations. You got IUIC talking about, eternal hell doctrine. Not breaking down the mark of the beast correctly, which is important end time prophecy. You see? And that dude in that video talking about ain't gonna be no Jacob's trouble. We already went through Jacob's trouble. So what the fuck is gonna happen when they bring the mark of the beast? The prophecy states that they're gonna force people, or they're gonna try to force people to take it. And those who don't receive it, they're gonna be ostracized from society. That sounds like a time of trouble, man. Dudes, man, they but they want to demonize the true men of the Lord. And we speaking according to the scriptures. All right. You got to be able to have, ears of discernment to see who's full of shit and who is really doing the will of Yahweh Shema Shai on earth, man. You can't be caught up in people's eloquent speeches that, you like the way that they talk, you like the things they say. You can't be caught up in that, man. You got to find out who is telling the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Because there are men out here in the earth that are doing that, man. All right, as the Lord tells you in Jeremiah 3 and verse 15, that he will send you pastors according to his heart to feed you with knowledge and understanding, even if it doesn't feel good, man. That's what we do. All right, we're not trimming our ways to seek love. Now let's continue on in Ezekiel 13, all right, verse 5. It says, ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. And these, like I said earlier, these weak ass men out here getting online, making videos, acting like they know it all, trying to condemn the true prophets, and they don't know shit. They're not getting you ready. They're not. He ain't on the highways and hedges risking his life and freedom to warn the people of Israel. All right. You see what I'm saying? He's not telling you what you need to do to prepare for what's coming. So they're not preparing you to stand in the day of battle. All right. This is a spiritual battle that we're involved in. And that dude, he's set up by Satan. And those who the Lord has rejected, they're going to listen to guys like that. You see? And they're going to shy away from the truth because they want to hear smooth things. That's the majority of our people. They want to hear smooth things. They don't want to hear the harsh reality of what's coming. And it's going to be to their own detriment. Okay. Verse 6, it says, they have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai saith, and the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai have not sent them. And they have made others to hope that they will confirm the word. So there you go, man. The Lord didn't send that effeminate dude to warn the elect. He didn't send Joel Osteen, TD Fakes, and these other false prophets to warn the people. All right. Come on, man. All right. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Jacob is Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followed it, as it tells you in 2 Ezra 6 and verse 9. At the end of Esau's rulership, he's going to come down with great wrath. All right, you see what I'm saying? Because he has a short time left. He knows that because of the men of the Lord have woken up to the fact that they're Israelites. All right, that Yahweh Shai or Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is dealing with his nation again. Starting with the elect. He knows that his time is up, man. He's been exposed by the mouth of the prophets for being the devil. And he's going to come down with great wrath. And it shows you that the devil is a man on the earth, a race of people. All right? A nation of people, man, of old. They're still here to this day. And if it come down with great wrath, persecuting the Israelites and those who believe in Yahweh Shai. All right? Hence their little new world order and all that, man. They finna bring that shit, man. And then, of course, the Lord is going to throw it down. But nonetheless, it's going to happen. They're going to bring it forth. They're going to get it off the ground, all right, for a short amount of time. It's going to be, a bad time, man. All right? But the Lord's going to avenge his elect. That's what we're saying. That's our message. Isaiah 30 and verse 9. Matter of fact, let me go to verse 8. It says, now go, write it before them in a table and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. That's the majority of our people, man. They don't want to hear what the scriptures got to say. All right? They don't want to hear what's really finna happen. They're rebellious, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. And there you go, man. They want to hear it's all going to be okay. All you got to do is call on Jesus Christ, or you'll be all right. Ain't nothing going to happen to you. That's what they want to hear. They want to hear them lies. They want to hear those deceits. And that's why they flock to these false prophets, man, in these mega churches, in these Baptist churches that you got in your city. Because they don't want to hear the truth. The truth hurts. All right? But nonetheless, it's the truth. And that's what we're about. We're about the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That is the truth. Everything else is a falsehood and a lie. You see? So yeah, man. But I'm getting ready to wrap this up. That's the point of this lesson. You can't stick your head in the sand and act like this ain't happening. All right, you get a warning, that a tornado is coming in or hurricanes coming towards your area. You see it on the news. What do? You prepare. You start packing up your shit, or you start boarding up your house. Do whatever you got to do to prepare for that thing so you can survive. You don't just sit there and turn the TV off and act like it's not happening. Those who do that, what happens to them? They get caught up in it. All right? The elect are making haste. They've heard the word of the prophets. They believe the report, and they're preparing for what's coming. All right, by getting under the banner of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. So I'm gonna end this lesson right here. Just want to respond to that, man. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Kwame Yasharala and Abab Abal Shalom.